Hey YouTube, I just wanted to let you know that the following video you are about to watch is actually a part of the Creatrix live series happening over on Instagram. We started this 5-week-long live series in celebration of the next cohort of my signature group coaching program known as Embodied Creatrix. This program is 12 weeks long. It is for women visionaries who are ready to live a soul-aligned life that turns them on so that they can make the impact they know they're here to create. So it starts with getting clear on our values and vision, doing the mindset work to own our desires, doing the mindset work to show up for our dreams, right? We do all of this through, again, deep mindset, pleasure, clarity, strategy, and execution. So this is deep work that happens over a 3-month-long period in community, in a container with other driven visionary women. And so in celebration of this next iteration of my program starting August 30th, I wanted to give people sort of a sneak peek of the kind of work that we do in the full program, give everyone a feel for the kind of content that we unpack therein. And so that's why we're doing this 5-week-long live series. So we're dropping juicy, delicious, actionable content. So whether you're interested in the full program or not, you will get served. You will find tools and information to support you in owning your desires and showing up for your dreams and executing on your vision. And there's going to be plenty of opportunities for winning Creatrix related prizes and giveaways. So if you want to participate live, I highly recommend you come find us on Instagram. All the relevant links to learn about the program, to find me on Instagram and participate live is down below, and I can't wait to see you there. Title of today's live is The Manifesting Superpower You Didn't Know You Had. We're going to be talking about how you can tap into it right now, how you can, we're actually going to address the sneaky way you might be playing small without even realizing it when it comes to showing up for your dreams and creating a life you love and making moves on your vision, right? We're going to talk about the difference between a wait and see approach and an empowered action approach, how to find our edges, stretch them, step into them, and how we can prime our system for empowered action, get into alignment, and make moves on our dreams. So let's get into it, okay? All right. So we've all probably heard about or come across the method of setting an intention, right? If you're someone that's, into manifesting and finding better ways or better methods for creating a life you love, you've definitely come across the action of like setting an intention, right? So setting an intention, right? It's sort of it's an energetic process, right? But what I find, this is my humble opinion, you don't have to agree with this, but what I find is that, and I've seen this, I've done this myself, I've seen it with clients, is there's something about the setting intention and the energetic piece of it that, that makes us play small, because what we do is we set the intention and then we kind of sit back and wait, right? And that's even the way it's taught sometimes, is that you just set the intention and then you give it to the universe and then you sit back and wait, right? Now, as good as that sounds, as easy as that sounds, and I'm not saying that that can't work. Sometimes, like, miracles happen. I believe in miracles. Sometimes shit falls into our lap, and sometimes setting the intention was, the thing that we did prior to the miracle showing up. So I'm not saying that this doesn't work. But what I want to invite you to look at is how that wait, like sit back and wait energy, that wait and see energy, is actually a little bit of a disempowered place to be. Instead of, like with that wait and see energy, we're kind of like, it is us playing small in a way. We're like, well, I set the intention, but like, who am I to make a move on it? And who am I to step into it? And who am I to like, actually take action on the intention? Because that's a little scary, right? That's kind of where our edge is. We're like, well, I'll put it out to the universe and then I'll just wait and see what happens. I'll just like wait for the opportunities to come, So I want to talk about empowered action and how we can actually step into the version of ourselves that we want to be. So for me, and this is what I teach in the Embodied Creatrix program, there's a follow-up step after we set the intention, which again is kind of like the energetic piece. And the follow-up step is making a decision, which is a little more solid than just kind of setting the intention. The decision-making piece is, we call this a decision statement, and it's about finding the empowered place where we can act on the intention. We act on the decision. So it's not a wait and see approach, it's a taking action approach. It's getting out of our head, out of our minds, and just showing up to act from the decision. Does that make sense? So we use the we use the decision statement in a way that, how do I want to say this? Well, let me back up a little bit. Okay, so I'm always talking about how, sorry, I got distracted. I'm always talking about how our system of consciousness is a system, right? It's a system of consciousness. And it's always processing energy. And sometimes our cute little human brains want things to be like really linear, right? Which is understandable. And that's just the way our brains work. It's kind of the way that we operate in this world. They're kind of designed to like help us filter multidimensional reality, if you will, into something linear so that it makes sense, right? So it's just the way our brains operate, and that's okay. But in these transformational experiences, in these manifesting and creative experiences, it isn't linear. And so sometimes what holds us back from actually being in that decision, that empowered decision space, what holds us back from actually taking action and moving from that decision space is this belief that we have to have our belief, that we have to have our mindset right, that we have to have our energy perfected, right? I have to believe that I'm worth it, or I have to believe that I'm capable first, then I can take action, right? But that's such a linear approach, and it's only gonna create distance in time between you and your desired outcome. And so the decision-making process is, the decision statement is a way to sort of demonstrate to ourselves the system and to step outside of that linear confinement. Because when we make the decision and then act on it, right, we kind of think of the intention sort of setting the energy, priming our system, and then the follow-up step is crafting a decision statement and communing with it every day, deciding it over and over and over again, so that when we show up to take action, we're taking action from our decision, not from our doubt, right? And so it's the decision statement and taking action from that place is a little bit of a kind of like fake it till you make it energy, right? We're finding our edge and we're allowing our action to sort of stretch us, right? And then our belief and our mindset and everything else is kind of gets to step and expand into that. Does that make sense? So again, where we kind of play small is we set the intention and then we work on believing that it's possible, You know, we work on our mindset. We do all the energetic pieces, but we feel like we have to have those perfected before we can move on to the next step, which is taking action. And again, that linearity is just creating space and time between you and your desired outcome. So we're kind of, the decision statement and taking empowered action allows us to sort of like move through this in a non-linear fashion. We work on our mindset and we work on our beliefs and we're doing all of that in the background. Meanwhile, we've made a goddamn decision. We've decided that our dreams and desires are possible, that they're for us, that they're happening. We can't really control, we talked about this yesterday, we can't really control the hows and the timing, right? That's the part that we actually do get to surrender to the universe. But we make a freaking decision and then we show up and act on it. Even when we don't really fully believe that it's possible, and even when we don't really feel like, oh, that we can trust that it's for us or that it's happening. Hi, baby. Right? We show up and we act on the decision anyway. And that's, again, a little bit of that fake it till you make it. And that's us finding our edge. and allowing the action to be the thing that actually stretches us and magnetizes the rest, our belief, our mindset, our feeling state. You know, that all of that gets to expand and step into that new edge that we've created. That's the expansion, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so again, it's not a linear process. You don't have to have your mindset or your belief like fully perfected before you can take action on your dreams. And actually taking action before you feel ready is gonna be the thing that really exponentially like grows you and, you know, brings results faster, right? That's stretching your edges. We talk about stretching your edges a lot in the program. Okay, so again, ask yourself, like, have I been playing small by just setting the intention and then taking like a wait and see approach? You know, what is your broad stroke vision for your life when it comes to creating and having and experiencing a life you love? What is your broad stroke vision? What's in there? For me personally right now, because again, that's gonna, you know, your vision's gonna change as you grow and evolve, and my vision right now is my business, right? So I decided and continue to decide, and decide every day and commune with my decision that I get to have a thriving and impactful business. So pretty broad strokes. We'll break down the decision statement right here and I'll use myself as an example. So pretty broad strokes, that's what the decision statement looks like. I decide that I get to have a thriving and impactful business. And I just decide that. Some days I don't even freaking believe it, right? I don't believe that's possible. I don't feel that it's possible, but I move and I act from that decision anyway. And that's a little bit, again, of that kind of fake it till you make it. So, with your decision-making statement, when you craft a decision-making statement, you want to, again, have it be kind of broad strokes, have it be very visionary. And then you layer it on top of all the little things, all the little action steps and all the different sort of strategies that go into actually meeting your goals and showing up for your vision and creating the life that you're actively creating right now, right? So for instance, in my business right now, just to use myself as an example, again, that decision statement is I decide that I get to have a thriving and impactful business. And so, for instance, like whenever I'm writing a post, I take a moment to like connect to that decision statement, and then my words and my actions follow, right? And the beauty of crafting the decision statement in a way that's sort of broad strokes is, did I say this already? We get to layer it over all the different processes. So right now I'm launching Embodied Creatrix, right? It starts August 30th. You should definitely be in there, sign up, come like DM me if you have questions, talk to me, right? So every time I'm getting online to talk about the program or to do something that's launch related, what am I doing? I'm sitting with that decision. I'm communing with it. I'm having a moment with it. I'm redeciding on it if I need to. And then I'm taking action. I'm writing my post. I'm going live. I'm doing whatever I'm doing from that decision. Even if that day I'm not feeling it or I'm not believing it fully, right? That part doesn't have to be fully sorted yet for me to take action from the decision. And again, that's finding our edge and allowing our belief and our mindset and our feels to, we're allowing the action to stretch us, right? Faking it till we make it. And then allowing the belief and the mindset and the feeling state to step into that, to expand, to follow. And that's how we're expanding ourselves. That's how we're stepping into a different version of ourselves, a higher version of ourselves, a desired version of ourselves, right? That's part of that personhood cultivation that I keep talking about in all of these lives and in talking about Embodied Creatrix, right? So let's see, is there anything else I want to say? So basically this process of like, you know, setting the intention if that feels good, having that little energetic piece, and then working on our mindset and our belief and things in the background, and then following up the intention with a decision statement, like this is my process. And then communing with that all day, every day, if necessary, and before we take action, and then taking action from that space every time we do. That's an empowered place to be, right? Because it's not just I'm going to sit back and wait. It's no, I'm stepping fully into this belief. Even if, like, I don't fully believe it yet, I'm going to allow myself to stretch. I'm going to allow myself to expand. I'm going to try this on and see what happens, right? Versus just sitting back and like not even trying it on, right? And so this is how we can take empowered action. This is how we can make moves on our dreams, even when we don't fully feel like it's possible or believe that we're capable yet. We're like inch by inch stretching, or degree by degree stretching ourselves a little bit, and allowing the energetic piece to sort of fill in the spaces, right? We're taking action even when we don't feel fully ready, or capable or whatever, right? Feel the fear, do it anyway, and allow the rest of your system to catch up, right? I think in the spiritual spaces, and even in a lot of the spiritual spaces, there's like this phrase that is like, your reality is a direct reflection of like your internal world, and like you want the the physical reality is all a product of the energetics. And I'm not gonna like dispute that, but I think sometimes that can trip us up into thinking we have to have the energetic pieces perfected first. And I just don't believe that that's true, because this is a system. It isn't linear, right? Like that's such a linear way to think about it. So we can take the action before we feel ready and allow the energetics, like our belief and our feelings, to catch up. You know, there isn't one right way to do it. It's just a system that is, you are a system of consciousness processing energy. You can play around in all of these different realms within your, you know, your mindset and your ability to take action, right? Like, and so this is just one of the ways that we actually approach it from a non-linear space and allow ourselves to stretch and expand, right? And I promise, like, this is going to expedite, is that the word I want? Like your growth, is you allowing yourself to stretch in this way, find your edges, stretch yourself with action, and then allow the rest to catch up, all right? It's making moves before there's like evidence or before there's certainty. And that's just going to really change, like doing that over and over and over again, and seeing that you can, and seeing that it, you know, it doesn't end in death and destruction. Like, you're just gonna create more, you know, courage around approaching the world in that way, and showing up for your dreams in that way, and playing big in that way, right? That's the difference between playing small, sitting back to wait and see, and playing big and allowing yourself to shine. And you know what I mean? Like, coming from that empowered creatrix energy. I don't fully believe this shit yet, but I'm damn well gonna act on it like I do, you know? Like, that's what our creatrix energy is all about, right? So take a minute to think about, what is your overarching sort of vision when it comes to creating a life you love? Where are you at with your vision? Like, what does that look like from broad strokes? Again, mine around biz right now is, I decide that I get to have a business that is thriving and impactful. Okay, so pretty broad. So it's not attached to anything specific, right? And the beauty of this is that when we get into the nitty gritty, for instance, my nitty gritty right now is launching Embodied Creatrix, right? If I start to get attached to that, like, okay, like this launch is the thing that is going to make my business like flop, or I was going to say flop or fail, but those are both failures, thrive or fail, right? If I hang all of my, you know, success on this one launch, right, in attachment energy, that starts to feel, every time I'm showing up to launch, it starts to feel kind of desperate. And it starts to feel like, oh God, like if I don't do this live right, or if I don't make this post perfect, then people won't buy and people won't sign up for the program, and then the program will fail, and that means my business is failing, right? You know what I mean? We all know what that attachment and desperation energy feels like when we're manifesting and creating. So the beauty of the decision statement is it helps us realign. It helps us zoom out. It helps us release some of that sticky energy of, wait a minute, I decided, and I'll decide over and over and over again, that I get to have whatever it is for you, right? For me, a thriving business, or a thriving and impactful business, right? And this doesn't have to be, this isn't the only thing that's going to get me there. All of the parts and pieces that I'm working on, whether it's a launch or just a post or getting clients for one-on-one work, right? All of that is working as a system to serve the vision. And so I don't need to put all my eggs in this one basket because that's just not how it works, right? The launch isn't going to decide whether my business fails or thrives, right? And so the zoom out, I've decided that I get to have an impactful and thriving business. I'm just going to show up from that decision. I'm just going to show up and take action from that empowered place, whether it's this launch or the next one or something else. All of it is working to serve the vision, that broad vision ultimately, right? So it doesn't have to be attached to any one thing. So that's another thing I love about the decision statement is it helps us zoom out, it helps us get into alignment, it helps us have that sort of perspective shift so that we can get out of the sticky attachment and just show up from that empowered creatrix energy, right? Does that make sense? So where are you in creating a life you love? What is your vision, right? Ask yourself, have I been acting from that vision? Like, have I been acting and making moves and making choices and using words and affirmative language that support that vision? Or have I been taking a little bit of that intention kind of energy piece that we talked about where I just sit back and wait and see? And if that's the case, that if you've been in that wait and see energy, I invite you to make a decision statement, to craft one for yourself. Again, you want broad strokes. Think high level visionary statement. Nothing that's like attached to any one thing, right? And see where that takes you. See how that feels. Just try it on. Play with it, okay? Now, this is something that we do in the Embodied Creatrix program. We craft a decision statement on day one or module one, week one, right? And then we ride that shit the entire way through the program. We commune with it, as much as possible. We decide it over and over again if that's what it takes. And no matter what action step or goal within the broad vision that we're working towards, we are moving from that decision statement. And yes, we're doing mindset work in the background. We're doing energy management in the background. We're doing emotional alchemy in the background. But we are moving in every area of our lives, in every piece of that mindset, energy, emotional stuff. We're moving from the decision statement. We are moving in alignment with the vision, right? And that is how we are taking action and, finding our edges, taking action, making moves, stretching ourselves a little bit, faking it till we make it, and allowing the rest of us to catch up. That is the expedited growth and transformation. That's the radical stuff happening on the inside. That's the personhood cultivation that I'm talking about, the higher self-integration that I've been talking about, the elevating our baseline mode of operation that I've been talking about, right? And so that's what we do in the program. So everyone in the program has a different vision, right, for creating a life they love. We've had people in the program who were working towards relationship, people who've been working on building a business, people who've been working on, what else? There's something else in my mind and I totally lost my train of thought. But anyway, everyone's vision is a little bit different, right? Everyone has different goals. Everyone has different things that they're working towards. And so we're all going to have, different action steps, different goals. We're all going to have different, steps to get to where we want to be or to create the results we want to create. So we're all going to have individualized action plans, but we all start out with crafting the decision statement. And then as everyone is executing according to their vision, we're doing it all from the decision statement, right? We're doing it all from that empowered creatrix energy, finding our edges, stretching ourselves, allowing the rest to catch up. And that's the beauty of the program, is we have 90 days or 12 weeks together to really do that. I don't even know who said it, but there's just there's an idea floating out there in the world that takes at least 90-ish days to start forming new habits. And so this is why the program is the length it is that we get to really dedicate, this is why it's like a container of 90 days of dedicated work. And so we get to really try this on every day and build a practice around being in that empowered decision energy versus the like wait and see energy and the playing small energy. It's like, no, we're stepping into our creatrix energy and we're trying it on and we're playing with it. And yeah, sometimes it's uncomfortable and sometimes it's stretchy, but we've decided that our vision is for us, that it's happening. We're releasing some of that how and that timing, but we know that where our agency lies is in our decision and in our empowered action. And so that's what we're stepping into, and that's what we're practicing, and that's what we're cultivating. Again, that higher self integration, or that baseline mode of operation elevation, however you want to look at it. And that's the personhood cultivation piece. That's the embodied creatrix piece. We're embodying that version of ourselves, and we're doing it over and over and over and over again, and we're practicing it and repeating it until it's becoming like second nature, right? And the beauty of this is, again, once you have experienced this process of being in that empowered decision energy, you can layer it over anything. Maybe your vision for your life completely changes. Doesn't matter, because now you know how to be in your creatrix energy. And now you know how to set an intention and then make a decision and then act on it, right? From that empowered place to stretch yourself and let the rest expand into it, right? So that's the beauty of, that's the transformation that the program offers. And that's what you get to walk away with, is seeing that process, and we do it in real time, right? You're not just learning about it, we're practicing it actively in real time. And that's what all of our modules, lead us into, and that's what the group coaching calls are for, is for when we're feeling like, holy shit, I'm not believing it, like, remind me that I get to decide and step and move from it anyway, right? That's what it's all about. That's what the program is. So if you've never heard of a decision statement, I again invite you to craft one for yourself. I invite you to try it on, to play with it, to see how it feels. And yeah, let me know how it goes. That's your guys' homework for today, right? Is go craft yourself a decision statement and play with that. Okay, so that's what we have for you guys today. Thank you everyone for popping on and hanging out. I hope you're feeling activated right now. Like, I hope you're feeling like, oh, cool. Like, I've heard of setting intentions, but here's this new thing that I've never like heard about, or maybe didn't understand what it meant. And now I can go try this on and like, make moves and actions from this decision. Like, coach myself into this decision every day, commune with this decision every day. If you already have like a meditation practice, just slap on a couple affirmations or a couple repetitions of your decision statement every day and see how that feels. And then every time you're going to take action or to make a decision, do a couple repetitions of that decision statement, feel it alive in your body, embody it, right? And then make a move, make a choice, choose your words in accordance to that, right? And this is how we really align everything to our vision, all of our actions, words, choices, and deeds, right? And that is what your creatrix energy is all about, okay? So, just a little reminder, you guys, early bird pricing ends on the 15th. That's this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember. I don't even know what the date is today. And if you want the $100 off discount code, you guys, I'm just going to be generous. Normally you have to share these lives or get on a call with me to get the coupon, but because we're so close to the deadline and I just want to make this really easy for you, just DM me. If you're on the fence and you're thinking about it, or you're like, I really want this, but maybe I don't have maybe my finances don't feel fully ready yet, just DM me. Make a decision and DM me. I'll give you the coupon code. You don't have to jump through any hoops. And the coupon code works on all of the payment plans, so you can get the early bird pricing, you guys, and the discount code on top of that. So make a decision, decide that you get to have this coupon code, and just DM me and I'll send it to you. And then you can decide after that, after you have the coupon code, what the best choice of action is for you regarding, buying the program or not, buying a payment plan or not. Like, even if you end up not buying the program, you could have a coupon code and help that, or allow that to help you make your decision, right? So that's what I have for you guys today. And I will see you all next Tuesday. Bye. Have a wonderful rest of your day.